Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the miserable liberal and Rob Placone.
Hello.
I'm miserable.
All right. We got finally the CIA files on we got some of them on the JFK assassination, and there's lots of stuff that came out. For instance, JFK files exposed CIA plot to stage Miami bombings and blame Fidel Castro. What? So you know how they try to make everybody who ever questions the official government narrative now, you're immediately called a conspiracy theorist. Immediately, that's what they do. And let's remember where that term came from. Conspiracy theorist was invented by the CIA to discredit people who were onto their bullshit. Stuff like this. Oh, you mean that CIA did false flags? Operations on our own people? Well, they wanted to. Well, here's what we found out. After Castro's revolution succeeded and thousands of Cubans fled to South Florida, the CIA actually considered murdering a boatload of refugees, assassinating exile leaders, and planting bombs in Miami. Also, Castro could be blamed for the chaos. That's according to the Miami New Times. The basic idea was to turn world opinion against Castro and possibly justify a U.S. military invasion by pitting the atrocities on him. Do you see what the CIA does? And now everybody takes the CIA's word for it that the Russians hacked into the DNC server. Remember that? They just they confirmed it. These guys. The details of the sinister plot are included in a summary about Operation Mongoose, a 1960 covert op hatched by the CIA under President Dwight Eisenhower with the aim of toppling communist Cuba. Operation Mongoose. So you don't think that the CIA is still doing this exact same stuff today? You don't think that's what they're doing in Syria? Remember when they did the false flags in Syria? The chemical attacks, those were false flag attacks. Assad did not do those attacks. We could develop a communist Cuban terror campaign in the Miami area, in other Florida cities, and even in Washington. They're going to do a terror campaign on our own country, including Washington, D.C. That's the CIA. That's the CIA. And now you wonder why people question everything the government tells you about anything? The plan also included a possible attack on migrants leaving Cuba to settle in the United States. We could sink, this is from the report, we could sink a boatload of Cubans en route. This is the CIA talking. We could sink a boatload of Cubans en route to Florida, real or simulated. We could foster attempts on lives of Cuban refugees in the United States, even to the extent of wounding in instances to be widely publicized. You see, this is in the 60s. This is what the CIA was doing. This is what they wanted to do. So they already do this stuff all the time. They know how to get publicity over a false flag to manipulate the people to do what they want. That's what the CIA does. Why would you ever believe the CIA about anything? People do. People believe what the CIA says about Syria. They're lying about Syria. So is your government. The release of 2,891 previously classified files also shed a light on the more aggressive tactics by the CIA, which included the placement of bombs and the creation of a terror environment. Exploding a few, this is again from the CIA, exploding a few plastic bombs in carefully chosen spots, the arrest of a Cuban agent, and the release of prepared documents. Do you see what they're doing? So we'll set this whole thing up to trick our own media, to trick our own people. We'll plant bombs in our own country. And then we have these prepared documents that show that there was the Cubans who planted the bombs, fake documents. substantiating Cuban involvement also would be helpful in projecting the idea of an irresponsible government, the files went on. Well, the Cubans are the irresponsible one, not the people who want to terrorize their own country. And this is from the National Archives. This is directly from the CIA. He mentioned specifically the possibility of producing crop failures by the introduction of biological agents, which would appear to be of natural origins. Mr. Bundy said that he had no worries about any such sabotage, which could clearly be made to appear as the result of local Cuban disaffection or of a natural disaster, but that we must avoid external activities such as the release of chemicals, etc., unless they can be completely covered up. CIA, they seem pretty good. They seem like really, so remember what John F. Kennedy said. John F. Kennedy said he wanted to smash the CIA into 1,000 pieces. Now he's dead. Oh my God, conspiracy. Do you see the conspiracies these motherfuckers cook up every day? That's what they do. They do terror on our own country. They lie to our own country. That's what the CIA does. Anybody, anything?
I've never heard anybody in my life that buys the official JFK story. Right. Like even some of like the most reserved people I know that really don't like think outside the box much. Like even that they're like, oh yeah, JFK. Of course we don't know what really went down there.
Right.
Of course we don't know the truth there. Like nobody buys.
You don't think it was like Bill Hicks said? It was that one guy, and he was hanging out of the book depository by his toes.
Yeah. Well,
that's
birds
how he did
helped
it.
him. They flew him over,
Yes.
and then he.
And there was the one bullet.
Yeah.
Why does anybody believe the government? Why does anybody believe the government about anything? Do you know how much lying that went into? They lied to the 9/11 investigators. The government lied to the 9/11 investigators. The government did. Why? And then they invent a bunch of crazies to go, oh, you're crazy if you question the official government on anything. You're crazy.
You're crazy if you don't question your government. You're crazy if you don't question, or you're just blissfully ignorant on purpose, which, hey, to each their own. I guess that's a way to live your life. But I mean, you're crazy if you don't question what the powers that be tell you.
So there you go. I'm sure this is talked about all day on MSNBC as a cautionary tale to not take the CIA's word for it about Russia and interfering in our elections. I bet that they have been doing that all day at MSNBC, saying that, oh, look what the... I wonder if it even got reported. I wonder if they even reported.
You don't think
this.
Rachel Maddow connected those
Connected
dots?
the dots?
You don't think she connected those dots? You're skeptical?
No. Steph, didn't you watch Rachel Maddow's show the day after Donna Brazil's thing came out? About the primary being rigged?
There was not a mention of Donna Brazil's book. There was not a mention of any indictments that, Donna Brazil was speaking about. No rigging. No, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I want to talk about? Russia.
Ah. That's what she talked about on the day Donna Brazil blew the story open about how the primary was rigged. She talked about Russia. And now you know why people get their news from YouTube. YouTube is making it... I bet this video is going to be demonetized. Anytime we talk about terror or Syria or foreign policy or anything, pretty much. The CIA.
Yeah, it's not gonna,
they just demonetize it. So, thank you for being a Patreon or a patron and joining our Patreon thing and becoming a premium member. We give you extra videos all the time. And thank you. Make sure you subscribe because YouTube's trying to make it harder for people to find our stuff. Subscribe, click the bell next to the subscribe so you'll get a notification when we drop a video. And make sure you're still subscribed because a lot of people tell us that YouTube has been unsubscribing them from our channel and they didn't do it. So, thank you very much for your support. Next live show is December 4th in Burbank, California, and November 20th in Hollywood, California. See you there. Link for tickets right there.